He felt the tremble in his hands long before dawn touched the frozen camp. A single line in his diary warned him, "If this sun rises, it will rise without me." Those nearby never knew the truth, but the morning he feared would come sooner than he hoped, and the man who found his diary in 1943 would carry its weight for the rest of his life. He sensed danger before he opened his eyes. Frost clung to his lashes, and a deep pulse of fear pressed against his ribs. The cold did not scare him. What scared him was the quiet truth beating inside his chest. He knew this morning might be his last, and he wrote it plainly in the small brown diary tucked inside his coat. The final page waited for ink, like a curtain waiting to fall. His name was Ernst Keller, a young German soldier whose face carried the soft shadows of a man much older. The winter of 1943 had carved deep lines across his skin, the kind shaped by sleepless nights and long-hidden guilt. His unit saw him as the quiet one, the one who followed orders without complaint. Yet none of them knew the war inside him, the one he fought with every breath. The new recruit named Lenz noticed him early that morning. Lenz was louder, softer at heart, and not yet shaped by the bleak months they had endured. When he pointed at Ernst's worn diary and laughed about how soldiers should not waste time writing, the others joined with awkward smiles. No one spoke up for Ernst. No one defended him. Silence, thick and heavy, floated through the cramped bunker. Ernst did not raise his voice. He simply closed the diary, brushed the frost from its cover, and breathed slow to quiet the tremor in his hand. He had learned long ago that silence had its own kind of strength. A man's truth speaks loudest when he says nothing, he once wrote on a page he never showed to anyone. The backstory of that truth lived in the memories that kept him awake at night. Before the war, he had been a teacher in a small town, guiding children through the tender steps of reading and writing. His classroom smelled of chalk dust and warm wood, windows open to sunflower fields. Children whispered dreams and laughed at simple jokes he still remembered. He treasured those sounds more than he ever said. When he was drafted, he left behind a sister who hugged him too tight and a mother who pretended to be strong. The night before he boarded the train, his father gave him the small diary and told him to write so you do not forget who you are. Ernst wrote every night. He wrote fears he could never voice. He wrote hopes he was ashamed to still have. And he wrote one promise: I will keep my soul alive no matter the world around me. That morning in 1943, as the wind scraped through the broken boards of the bunker, the tension grew. A senior officer entered, saw the diary, and ordered Ernst to hand it over. The officer claimed diaries were distractions, personal secrets that had no place in a time like this. The others watched, frozen between fear and quiet shame. No one spoke. Even Lenz lowered his eyes. Ernst stayed still. His hands did not move. His breath came slow and warm in the cold air. Something unseen stirred in him, a calm strength rising from the memories he held close. He slipped the diary back into his coat and said only, "Some things are not yours to take." The officer stepped forward, but another figure appeared behind him. Captain Weber, a man known for fairness in a world that had forgotten the word. Weber had heard rumors of the officer's harsh demands and followed to confirm them. He read Ernst's stillness like a page waiting for its meaning. Without a single harsh word, Weber removed the officer from the room. The shift was silent but clear. Respect had returned, heavy and warm like a blanket placed on cold shoulders. The soldiers stood, not sure what to do, until Lenz walked to Ernst and lifted his hand in a quiet salute. One by one, the others followed. Their breaths formed small clouds in the cold, rising together in a moment that felt like a promise. Ernst did not speak, but his eyes softened with something close to relief. His diary was found later that year, long after the winter took more than it gave. Inside it, 3 lines stood out like bright lanterns in the dark. A man's truth speaks loudest when he says nothing. Honor lives in silence, not pride. If this sun rises without me, let someone read my hope. The soldier who found the diary carried it home and kept it safe. He said it taught him more about dignity than the world ever had. War ends, but stories like Ernst's stay alive for those willing to listen. His voice speaks through the pages he left behind, a reminder that even in cold seasons, quiet courage can lift a room to its feet. If this story moved you, share your thoughts below. Tell us where you're watching from, and follow for more stories that honor the silent strength of real people who lived through impossible moments.